Hello, Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising. It is time for your year ahead video. But first, let's go into the astrology a little bit. With a Cancer Sun and a Cancer Rising, this means that your Sun is most likely in the first house. And that means it's kind of what you see is what you get with you. You don't hide your emotions. You're very confident in how you feel about things. Other people can see that in you and sense that in you. You're very protective of friends and family, and even sometimes strangers that you randomly meet. You're like the mother bear kind of energy sometimes. That protective energy, especially, is what I'm feeling coming strongly, or the most, I guess you could say. Um, You can, though, tend to be overly sensitive in some situations once your emotions get up. If there's a highly emotional situation going on, that may amp you up and really get you more irritable, maybe, or just even more emotional, or maybe you might be crying for reasons you can't even understand, but you're just very emotional because you're picking up on those emotions of those around you. You also have a very strong sense of intuition, and other people may even know that about you or note that about you. You always seem to know what's going on without being told. You can read the undercurrents of the room. And that's something you show to other people, which is what the rising sign is all about. That's how they see you, which is why what you see is what you get with you. You're very devoted, especially to family, to your loved ones. And that's where your emotions or your protective instincts are going to kick in the most. You can also sometimes be very protective of your energy or of your emotions, where you may try not to show them, but you essentially wear your heart on your sleeve. They know, they can tell. That's the loudest thing about you, but in a beautiful way. All right, let's see what your cards have for the next 12 months. I'm going to lay out 12 cards. I'm just going to number them 1 through 12. You can choose June or July as your starting month, whichever feels right for you, maybe whichever month your birthday is in. I'm also going to pull a card from the bottom of the deck for an extra card or um, a theme for the year or an extra message. Okay, here we go. Card 1, 2, 3, or month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, excuse me, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then on the bottom of the deck we have the Two of Wands. Now I'm going to take a moment to kind of look at the overall spread and see if anything pops through about the overall year or some bigger, broader message that wants to come out, and then we'll get into each individual card. I'll be right back. Okay, so the overall feeling I have or message is, and it's primarily based on this Two of Wands, but it's also supported by a few other cards we have here, is you're ready for something new. You're ready for a new adventure, something that's different, something that you guys haven't done before. And this could have to do with a vacation or maybe even a new direction to take a life. But what do you mean by that for the details on it? It feels like it's related to a new passion, something, a new hobby, maybe something you've always wanted to try or thought about doing in the past, but you've never had the time or the energy. And now this is a year where it feels like that there's an opening, there's an opportunity. You're going to be able to try it out, to take this step, to go for it. Because there's not as much there are fewer demands on your time. So now you're able to take some time and do something for yourself. Something that gets you excited, something that you're passionate about, a dream of yours. This is a year where you're going to be able to pursue it or at least start planning for it and preparing for it. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, that was primarily based off of this card here, which is the Two of Wands, which is a fire card. And that is all about our passion and boldness, its vitality, its action, its movement. The Two of Wands in particular is about planning, coming up with a plan. In this, they give an example of like planning a trip, maybe a trip around the world, getting it together. Where do you want to go? putting the big picture in place. Where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? What do you maybe want to do when you get there? Planning the journey, but definitely going for it. Let's get into each month now. We're starting off here with month 1 with the Page of Wands. Pages are a young energy. It's fresh, it's new. There's a little bit of a naivete in there, but this is because they don't know what's about to come. They don't know what they don't know kind of feeling. And that's kind of how you feel about this thing. You've always wanted to try this or do this, but you've never had a chance to really look into it much because you're like, oh, if I don't have the time, I need to put my focus on friends, on family, on work, on something else, was always taking your attention away from it. So it's just kind of been shelved in the back until you have time. And now you have time. So there's this feeling of excitement, of joy, of exuberance. What are the first steps? What do I do next? You're starting to do that initial research, starting to get into it. What do I need to have on hand? Do I need to take any classes? Are there any guilds or community places around here where I can go take classes? Do I need classes? Could I do it by YouTube? But there's a sense of excitement and joy and those questions, the curiosity and the excitement is really catching your attention. And that's the vibe for you here in month 1. In month 2, we have the 10 of Wands. 10s are about completions, the ending of a journey, the end of a cycle. The 10 of Wands is where you're shedding things that no longer serve you. You are letting things go that don't benefit you, that just suck up your energy and have no real purpose. It's just maybe a habit. Or maybe you've been holding on to some physical thing, literal objects, just because nobody else wanted to take them. Was a family thing. But you're recognizing that that's not what this is about for you. The things aren't what this is about for you. And holding on to things for other people or in anticipation of other people wanting them in the future is not serving you. And it's just, you want to make room for this new thing. You need to make room in your life for this other thing that you want to do, that you're passionate about. And in order to do that, you need to say, hey, if anybody wants this, come and get it by the end of this month. Otherwise, I'm donating it or I'm getting rid of it. I'm no longer holding on to it. So you can free up your energy. You can free up literal space to pursue this hobby, this passion of yours. Or maybe you're going to be selling this stuff in a garage sale to raise funds for it. Whatever it is for you, you're letting some things go. You're getting rid of things that are just weighing you down. And you're freeing yourself. You're freeing up your energy. You're freeing up your space. And giving yourself permission to move on. And you feel much lighter and more relaxed. Because maybe you weren't aware that this was an area of tension for you, of worry, of it causing some anxiety. And once you get rid of that, there's just this, okay, that feels better kind of energy. In month 3, we have the 3 of Wands. 3s can be about community. The 3 of Wands in particular is this sense of anticipation. You put the plan in place, right? You've come up with a plan. And now you've started acting on the plan. And you're waiting for the results from one of the steps to come in. Or you're waiting for a reply, perhaps, to come in. So that you can then take the leap. You can take action. It is anticipation. It is excitement. In this particular card, she's waiting for that perfect wave to take her chance, to seize the opportunity. And she's ready, prepared. She's got a plan in place, and as soon as this opportunity comes up, she will seize it. Eagerness is also in there. So I don't know if you're waiting for a sale or waiting for, like, if you're joining a guild for whatever hobby it is, or if you're joining a bowling team or etc. Maybe It's a sign up night or a night where you can go learn more, or if there's this eagerness to get into it, to start it, to get your hands dirty and take action. So strong anticipation this month. So this would be the first month maybe that you actually getting out there where you can take part in this thing and really start getting involved. And then in month 4, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Pentacles are an earth element. So this is very grounding energy, steady energy. Pentacles can also be about your home. It can be about work. It can be about finances. But this card is showing somebody who is very happy with the life that they have built for themselves. And they are taking the time to enjoy this space, this life that they have created, purposely enjoying and taking time for conscious appreciation, intentional appreciation of their home, of what they've been able to build up, of the life that they are living. There is pride, there is gratefulness, there is joy. If you weren't at this point in your life, you wouldn't be able to pursue your passions. You wouldn't have these opportunities opening up for you. And you are so happy about that. You are so grateful for that. You are feeling very blessed here in month 4. And really expressing that joyfulness, that appreciation. It's beautiful energy. In month 5, though, you're taking stock. You are checking progress. Perhaps you planted some nest eggs in different ways, and now you're checking the progress. Which ones are growing? Which ones are not? Which ones are thriving? Which ones are failing? Do you want to, how do you want to rearrange things? Do you want to uninvest? Do you want to shift things around? I don't know why I'm focused on money a lot for this month for you. Maybe that is the focus this month. How are your investments going? What do you want to change? What do you want to add to? What do you want to stop investing in? Do you want to take things out of certain stocks and just put it into savings? Do you want to start more? Sevens are all about that analysis and seeing what's working, what isn't, and deciding what you want to do next. How do you want to prune your life? This could also have to do with your home. What's working and what's not working with your home? Do you need to do some remodeling to help support this new hobby that you know is something you're going to want to do forever? Do you need to create a she shed for your art or a man cave for woodworking or whatever it is that has you excited? Or do you want to redecorate your home if you're hosting parties or committee meetings or things like that at your home as part of this? This is evaluating now where things are and how you want them to be, what you want to change up to meet the needs of your life as you're moving forward from this point. And then we come to month 6, which is with another completion card, this time with the swords. Swords are an air element, and this is going to be about communication. It's going to be about information, education, beliefs. The 10 of Swords can sometimes be a rough one. This is where, am I feeling that it's a rough one for you? Not necessarily rough, but it is definitely the end of an era in some area of your life. And it's going to have to do, it feels like maybe with an old club. Some of these burdens, some of these things you needed to let go here now are having some impact here. So maybe it had to do with, I don't know, if your kids are no longer in a school and you want to You are departing, I don't know what they are, parent teacher association, a PTA, whatever it is. It's disconnecting now from that. You are ending that part of your life. So it's going to have to do with communication. You are cutting off communication with someone, maybe somebody who brings negativity in or is definitely not supportive, and you don't need that in your life now. You are moving on to new things and looking to the future. So it's going to be the ending of something, and it's definitely a very definitive, it's closure. Closure is the word. Okay. You're going to have closure on something that maybe has been outstanding or lingering that you have probably been trying to end. And this is the month where that will end and you will get closure in that area here in month 6. And now down here in month 7, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now that you have formal closure in this area, whatever that was for you, that again opens up space in your life for something else, to start something new. The Ace of Pentacles, this could be a new investment. It could be maybe you want to start some sort of a new career. It almost feels like it's maybe a little part-time side gig, maybe that you might want to kick off. Perhaps it's related to what your passion is here. But it's planting a seed for the future. This is the very beginning, the initial stages of something new. It's just a tiny little thing, and it's going to grow into something much stronger, much bigger. But this is it's just the tiniest little thing now. It could be a little change, but it's something you do want to invest time or money or whatever into. You want to take this opportunity and you want to nurture it. You're planting a seed for the future. Potential. There's a lot of potential in this new thing, this idea that comes to you. And it does have you excited, and you do definitely want to, at least at a minimum, look into it. But it's the initial planting of a seed that may come up several times as it grows and sprouts throughout the next year from this point forward. So, new beginning, fresh energy. And then we have the Eight of Cups in month 8. Cups are about our emotions. It is a water element. This is something that you may strongly associate with. But this is a moment where they are walking away from somebody or something that causes a lot of drama, that is always sucking away energy, that you always seem to be pulled in to help support them or help them fix things. And they don't ever take the initiative to fix it themselves. They will just complain about it. They will cause a scene about it. Or it's going to be something that's emotionally draining for you, and it never really seems to change. It's always the same thing every time, over and over, and you're over it. You're done with it. You are no longer emotionally invested in this. You are cutting that off. This is one of those things where you are totally going to disconnect. You're like, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not wasting my energy anymore. This is no longer worthy of my energy. That's my energy, not yours. It's my energy to use. These are my emotions that maybe you've been toying with. That's not happening anymore. And you are walking away from that. It's either a situation at perhaps where you stopped communicating and now you're emotionally disconnecting, or it could be a person or somebody from the past that maybe only comes up every few years or something. But they can no longer tug on your emotions. They can no longer manipulate you into doing what they want, into serving them. You are moved on. You are done. You're off and you're focused on your future and things that bring you joy, that bring excitement, that bring love into your life. You're not dealing with that anymore. And it's definitely because this is in this month, it is a marked change for you. You recognize that it's no longer impacting you the way that it used to, that you're not even interested at all in hearing about it. They can't draw you anymore. They can't force you. Well, it's not even force. They can't guilt you into doing what they want done anymore because it's just that emotion's just not there anymore with the situation. It's just not there. You're like, okay, fine. I'm moving on then. Bye. That's that energy. And then in month 9, we have the Knight of Pentacles, back into that pentacle energy again. This time it is the Knight. Knights are, I think of them as somebody who has just kind of graduated college. So they have the certification, they have the degree, but they don't have any experience yet. So they know how things are supposed to work in theory, but when you get out to the real world, sometimes things don't go exactly as you were taught or exactly as you were planned. You have to actually do, you have to experience to truly understand what does and what does not work for you. Now, pentacles are also kind of a slower moving energy. This is going to be taking your time and trying different things. This could be related to this and this. These are kind of all associated, it feels like, these pentacles here, these three, the 7, the ace, and the knight. So you had some interest here back in month 7, and you learned a little bit more about it. You planted the seed of knowledge, if you will. Now you're looking at, okay, how can I incorporate this into my life? What's going to work for me? So you're trying one thing and you're just focused on that step or that particular process. Does this work for me? Does maybe only part of it work for you? What part worked and what didn't? And then you go to the next part. Are you going to now modify part of that, or are you going to try something completely new? And then you nurture that and you experiment with that. Maybe part of that worked and part of the first thing worked. And now when you try the third time, you want to combine those two pieces, and maybe that's what works for you. But you're taking your time, you're going step by step, and you're not rushing. You're going to get it right. You're going to perfect this and make it work exactly as you need it to. So some trial and error, but don't rush through it. Don't push it. Take your time and figure out the best options for you. Right. In month 10, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is a major arcana card, and this is about taking time on your own, taking time to meditate, taking time to do something that kind of gets you into a flow state, that gets you inside, where you're really trying to understand what is it that gets you excited? What is it that is lighting up? If you have multiple options in front of you and you're trying to make a choice on which one, go within and feel into it. Use your intuition. Which one, which path, which option lights up for you? This can also just be going inside to try and determine, what do you really want to do next? Where do you want to focus most of your attention right now? Do you want, is this finances where you want to turn your passion to, or this new hobby here? Because these feel like two different things for you. The hobby of investing could be one thing, but then this other hobby, which is much more physical or creates a tangible thing, something you can touch or feel, or involves physical movement. Maybe you're trying to decide if you want to focus on only one of those things, or is there a third thing you want to add in? What feels like the right path for you right now with where you're at? The Hermit is all about going inside, going internal, and asking yourself some of the hard questions and trying to find the path for you, the right path, the direction you want to go. Holding your light up to see what gets illuminated. What gets your heart singing when you think about the different options? And you'll feel much more confident by the end of this month on what direction you want to go, where you want to focus your attention. But take the time this month. There could also be different things that come up related to both of them that help you make this decision or consider the different options. Maybe you will find out that you have time to put focus on both equally or in multiple areas. But There may be one in particular that you want to focus on more than the other. That doesn't mean you may not be doing the others, but your focus, your desire is going to be on one particular thing over the others in all likelihood. And then in month 11, we have the King of Wands. Back into that fire energy. This has strong Aries and Leo energy. Not so much Sagittarius, but more Leo and Aries. It's assertive. Sagittarius can be mutable. So they can be assertive. They can be hot-headed. They can be passionate, but they're not as aggressive as, say, Aries or Leo in what they want. Now, this is a masculine energy, and it is like boss energy. It is directive energy. It is more extroverted kind of energy. This is a person who's very bold, who says what they feel. I mean, they will not hold back. They will say exactly what they're thinking, and they're not afraid of expressing their opinion. They could rub you the wrong way because they're very opinionated, or they're rather not necessarily opinion. A Leo could be more opinionated than an Aries, I would argue, but semantics. This is somebody who is not afraid to express their opinion or express how they're feeling about a certain situation. So they could be very loud, very boisterous. They could come off as seeming very aggressive. But that's seeming very aggressive. That's because they're very passionate. So they are going to speak to it, whatever it is, where they feel something wrong, they will speak up, they will say something. So this may be something that you're meeting or interacting with this month that maybe it feels argumentative to you. I would say to try this and that could cause you to like get defensive or perhaps overly sensitive. I would say to try to feel into their emotions behind their outward energy or outward message. If you can trust your intuition with dealing with them, that's going to make it much smoother, a much calmer interaction, at least on your end, because it's just their outward energy that might be putting you off. What you may find is that you guys are on exactly the same page when it comes to a certain thing. You just express it differently. So your initial impression I'm feeling of this person may be a little bit negative. Take time to pause and try to feel into their emotions, understand the emotional undercurrent for where they're coming from. And I'm just feeling in more because normally I get something a little different with this card. This is what it is for you, I think, is that initial impression in meeting. You guys are actually more alike than you are different. You just express it differently. And it's important for you to tap into your intuition here to really understand the situation and ask the right questions. They're also fiercely protective, by the way, so you have that in common too. But again, they're definitely going to be more outwardly expressive and more of a physical attitude. I don't know if that makes sense. Not like necessarily getting in a fight, but they're definitely going to be that the outward energy is going to feel a little more aggressive than typical, but because they're passionate about it. They feel strongly about it and they express it outwardly. And this is somebody who could be a very strong ally with you in whatever area you've chosen to pursue here. Okay. Not necessarily friend, but certainly a strong ally. Okay. In month 12, we have the Temperance card. This is another major arcana card. And this is a card indicating a need for balance or finding your balance, finding your footing across all areas of your life. So you're not solely so focused in one area. So this would be like somebody who is overworking a lot, doing a lot of overtime at the cost of home life. So neglecting home life or neglecting other things in their life, other responsibilities, because they're working so much. They need to find balance. They need to recognize that their energy is getting all sucked up and used up in one area of life that they have nothing left to give to other parts of their life. So temperance is saying, pay attention. Pay attention to those areas of your life where you may be dedicating so much time that you are neglecting other areas, or you're neglecting other relationships that you still find valuable. You have to be willing to make sacrifices or compromises sometimes in certain areas to keep a balanced life, to keep your flow going, to keep that energy moving in a positive direction for you. Make sure you're finding balance. This also means make sure that you are taking time for yourself, taking time for meditation or just a quiet walk or just sitting and zoning out, watching something on repeat. Whatever it is that can help you recharge your energy and just settle down, taking a bath, taking a walk, sitting on the beach, whatever that is for you, make sure you're taking time, especially if you're feeling scattered or hectic or irritable. Give yourself a timeout. Give yourself permission to take a timeout. Permission to be alone and just take some deep breaths and settle down and balance your energy. So that was quite a busy year with a lot of different changes. And it feels like you're ready for it and you're kind of looking forward to it because it's about time energy. That is what I have for you, Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, for your year ahead. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.